If you can see my slides, give me a thumbs up. Just lifting your hand this way, showing me your thumb will do. Okay, thank you so much. All right. Okay, so a quick summary. I think we have gone through this last lesson as well. Okay, now, so lesson objective. This is also something you need to take note of. This is what you need to know for PSLE, not just for our lesson. Okay, to be ready for PSLE, these are the main things you need to know. Okay, describe air as a mixture of different gases. Okay, so if you know this, it's good for you. If you don't know this, that means it's time you go and study again. So what are the main gases in air? Okay, you should know that majority of it is nitrogen. Then we have oxygen, then carbon dioxide, water vapor, as well as other gases. Need to know the percentage as well. Okay, rough percentage. Now, you need to list components of air I just did for you. State that moving air is wind. Okay, so you need to know a wind is actually due to air moving. Then next thing you must know. Okay, discuss uses of some of the gases present in air. Okay, explain that breathing is the process of taking air into the body. Okay, and then giving it out. Identify the organs that make up the human respiratory system. Describe how the human respiratory system carries out gaseous exchanges with its surroundings. Yeah, so all these we have gone through before. Now, today's focus is mainly on respiratory system in fish. So you need to describe how a fish carries out gaseous exchanges with its surroundings. So tell me roughly, where do you think the surrounding, or what do you think the surrounding of a fish is like? What do you think? I have people typing in the chat box. Let me see. Oh, okay. Okay. Saikrit, you said that you have, okay. Right. So Saikrit, maybe I can talk with you a little bit after the class. Is it okay, Saikrit? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Understand. Right. Okay. Just stay very moist because there's a lot of what? Where do you find fishes? Where do you find them? In the
water.
In the water, that's right, Jason. So for the fish, right, breathing is totally different. Not like us human beings, okay? Yeah, not like those living things that are on land, isn't it? Yeah, so we are actually having air around us. But what about fish? It has got a lot of water around, isn't it? Yeah, so how do they actually breathe? Yep, very good, Saikrit said. Okay, dissolve oxygen. Let's say there will be lesser oxygen than us. This I have not explored, but you know that actually fish breathe in water, right? So the water contains a lot of dissolved oxygen. Okay, how much of it, I actually have no idea. Honestly speaking, I have no idea because I didn't do a research on this thing, right? But of course, we can try to find out. Okay, let's say if you are really interested. So Wei-Le's comment about lesser oxygen might be true, but may not be true also because we don't breathe inside water. We wouldn't be able to tell. Okay, and the fishes cannot speak to us, right? Yeah, whether they have a lot of oxygen or not. If the fish start speaking to us, I think we're all panicked. Okay, right. Compare respiratory system of humans and other animals. Sometimes it comes out. You will see that questions will be asked, okay, for you to compare. Okay, like how does this animal breathe? But don't worry, in PSLE, they will give you sufficient information even if you don't know what is that animal. Clear? So it won't be fair to expect you to know all the animals on Earth. Okay, they will tell you sufficient information. All right. Then you need to describe how plants keep a healthy balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the air. Describe how a plant carries out gaseous exchanges with its surroundings. And then explain why stomata are usually found on the underside of the leaves away from direct sunlight. Okay. Okay, so you know about this, right? Okay, we have seen this chart actually in the last lesson, right? So for nitrogen, the percentage in the air around us, okay, for nitrogen is about 78%. Oxygen is about 21%. Okay, and then carbon dioxide, water vapor, and other gases, roughly about 1%. Right? Okay, and then very quickly, you know the respiratory system of human beings consists of the nose, windpipe, and lungs. So air enters body through the nose. Sometimes we use our mouth to breathe, okay? Especially when we are ill, especially when we have our nose blocked. Okay, no choice, we have to use our mouth. So the air actually moves down the windpipe and branches into two air tubes. And I already said, right? Okay, these are the air tubes. So this is one of it. Okay, each air tube leads to one of the lungs. Oxygen in the inhaled air. Inhaled, important. You know what? You should know the meaning of inhaled. Okay, and after inhalation, we have to breathe out. That will be called exhalation. Okay, that will be called exhaled air. So inhaled air reaches the lungs, and then the oxygen gets absorbed into the blood and transported to all parts of the body. Carbon dioxide is transported by the blood back to the lungs to be removed from the body. So this is what gaseous exchange is like in a human being. Breathing rate, okay, you need to know that, okay, breathing rate represents the number of times we breathe in every 1 minute. So per minute. Yep. So some of you, your breathing rate might be higher. Some of you, your breathing rate will be lower. Really depends on the activity you are engaged in. Jiaqi, you have a question? Sorry. Yes, you can. Okay, from now on, let me just say this. Okay, because sometimes I'm so engrossed, so focused on going through the questions of the slides, I may not see the chat box in time, right? So I noticed that some of you will ask for the permission to go to the washroom or the toilet. Okay, and you wait for me to say yes. True. What if I don't look at the chat box for like 5 minutes? Then you're going to hold in for 5 minutes, right? Okay, what if accidents happen? I don't want that to happen, okay? So what you can do is from now on, children, type into the chat box to say that I'm going to the washroom for a while. Can? Just let me know and go away. Okay, don't worry that I'll be upset with you. Whenever it's about going to the washroom, to the toilet, I am very, very understanding. Okay, so you just go, it doesn't matter. Just let me know where you have gone. That's fine. Okay, please don't wait for me. I noticed some of you waited too long. Thank you, Sakrit. Thank you. All right. So now breathing rate depends on age, depends on activity one engages in. Okay, so today's lesson, you need to know about this. There are many air sacs in the lungs. This will actually help to make the exchange of gases efficient, right? So if you look at the lungs, we only know that, yeah, there are two of them in our body. Okay, one side is smaller, slightly smaller than the other because it needs to accommodate the positioning of the heart, right? So it's slightly smaller. So if you were to zoom into the lungs, you are going to see this air sacs, okay? We also call it the alveoli. Okay, so what is the purpose of this? It actually helps the gaseous exchange to take place. And take note, okay, there are many air sacs, right? Why? Because we are now increasing the surface area of the part that actually engage in gaseous exchange. So you increase the surface area of this, okay, air sacs in the lungs, right? So more oxygen can diffuse into the bloodstream, all right? And then at the same time, oxygen is also removed at a faster rate. So this is going to ensure efficient exchange of gases. So they will ask you, well, how does the air sacs actually help in gaseous exchange? Okay, so you need to know the answer must always refer to surface area. No need to say volume ratio, just say increase exposed surface area or increase surface area. all right, for the gaseous exchange to happen. That's important. Any question here? Do you realize that there are many parts of our science syllabus that talk about surface area? How many of you notice that? All right, so we now see it here. Okay, we see it here, right? In respiratory system. Where else do you see it? Anyone?
Water cycle?
Water cycle? Okay, yeah, water cycle, good, Jason. So you talk about evaporation of water, right? Yeah, very good. So the greater the exposed surface area, the more water can be evaporated. Yes. Okay, so you also talk about digestive system. Do you remember digestive system? We did talk about it, right? Yes, I agree. Put a thumbs up. That's right. So in science, we refer to surface area a lot. So later, in our last slide for our notes here, I'll be giving you the notes, okay? This part on surface area, I'm going to show you how to prove that when you have smaller size, okay, you are actually increasing the surface area. Later on, we will take a look. So how does a fish breathe? You need to know the parts of the fish first. Okay, just the head portion enough. Okay, don't need to label every single part of the fish. Don't worry, it's just the part that is related, okay, to how it breathes. So you have the gills. Okay, so this whole section here is the gills. This is the gill cover. So if you look at the fish, okay, you look at the fish, there's one flap here that can open and close, right, at the two sides of the fish. Okay, just at where the head is. Now, there's a gill inside the gill cover. 1 minute. 好正. Hold on. Hao Zheng, are you back here? Okay, turn on the camera. Okay, so if you look at this part here, the gills, these are the gill filaments. Okay, this is how you term it, gill filaments. Do you see that they look like pins? They look like needles, isn't it? Okay, so you have all these tiny string-like thing. Okay, looks like pins and needles as well. How many of you actually saw the inside of the gill cover? Good, Sigrid. Who else? Anybody else saw the fish? Okay, good. Jati did as well. Okay, you did an experiment. So that means that in school, you actually took a look at the fish gills, right? Whaler as well. So it was it a very bad experience? How many of you felt that I want to puke, you know? Yeah, I felt that when I was conducting this with the primary school students. There are a lot of students who couldn't take it. So when they came near to the fish, right, okay, we let them wear gloves. Okay, then they open up the gill cover, took a look at the gills, okay, explore the gill filament. Yes, it was very smelly. Okay, now you have to understand, okay, fish food is actually expensive now. Sigrid said that his friend smelled like fish after that. Okay, yeah. So he didn't wash his hand properly, right? So that can happen. So you have to understand food is very expensive, but we still want students to have the experience of looking at the gills, okay? Because it's very important that you have the hands-on experience. You see the actual thing. I can show you thousands of pictures, but it's not going to be as effective as you looking at the actual gills. You agree? So after you have looked at it, touch it, okay, you can fully understand how it's like. Like when I show you this picture, you wouldn't know, is it very stiff or is it very soft? Is it slimy? All these questions might come to your head. Okay, so go and explore. You can also, okay, for example, buy a fish from the market. Your mom or your